Welcome back to the show, and today, my friends, we're going to be breaking down the biggest reveals and highlights from this week's PlayStation State of Play presentation, which showcased a ton of new games coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5 platforms later this year and stretching into 2022. And if you enjoy the show, be sure to like and subscribe, and to let me know what your highlights were from the State of Play in the comments section below. And we're going to kick off with the new look that we got at Forspoken, the upcoming action role-playing title coming to both the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 from developers Luminous Productions. Now, Forspoken was initially set to be released on May the 23rd, however it was recently announced that the game would get a 5-month delay and would instead drop on October the 11th, with the team using the extra time to further polish the game. Regardless, this time around we got an updated look at the combat and world traversal of Forspoken, along with some of the magical abilities and enemies that protagonist Frey, a New Yorker who's been transported to this unusual magical realm against her wishes, will be battling it out with as she rampages across the open world of Athia. Now, personally, I would have liked to have seen some more details on the story and some of the key mechanics that are going to be dictating how you actually play the game. Instead, all we really got was just basically another hype trailer. On the plus side, some of the creature designs and spell effects showcased during the segment were undeniably breathtaking, but I honestly still have little idea what to actually expect from the game as a complete package, and whilst that's to be expected from an entirely new IP, it is somewhat having the effect of dampening my excitement for the game. That said, there's still plenty of time before launch to drip feed us more info on this, and regardless, I'm just glad that Luminous Productions and publisher Square Enix are taking a little more time to polish the game rather than just shove it out the door in a half-finished condition. The State of Play also saw the reveal of the brand new multiplayer co-op title Exoprimal, in which you are tasked with halting the inexorable rampage of hundreds of honest-to-God killer dinosaurs that pour forth from a series of portals of unknown origins using nothing but your wits and a set of cutting-edge weaponized exosuits created by the hyper-advanced AI Leviathan. And that is yet again another sentence that I did not expect to be saying today. My best guess on the genesis of this game is that Capcom must have been having a pitch meeting where a panicked intern was asked to throw in an idea and their feverish, sweat-drenched brain was only able to produce 2 golden words, with those being Dinosaur Rain, to which the board of directors said, "Brilliant, let's run with it." But regardless of how it actually came about, players are going to be able to choose exosuits with abilities that complement the skills of their partners prior to battle, and will also be able to switch suits at any time during the course of a mission in order to suit the ever-evolving threat. The only truly concerning thing about the reveal is that the dystopian future of Exoprimal is set to unfold in the not-too-distant future in the year 2043, and that given the current trajectory of the world, I can absolutely see this exact set of events taking place in our own future, so it might be a good idea to consider this game contingency training for just one of the potential apocalypses that are currently branching out ahead of us. Regardless, as you can imagine, this choice little nugget of curiosity from the good folks over at Capcom Japan is a bit of a mystery as of yet, but there'll be plenty of time to fill in the blanks as Exoprimal isn't set for release until sometime in 2023 on both the PS4 and PS5 consoles. Moving on, we also got a new look at Ghostwire Tokyo, and I'm going to be honest, my curiosity for this game grows each and every time I lay eyes on it. Visually, it's a stunning fusion of supernatural elements from Japanese folklore mixed with Tokyo's uber-modern neon-lit urban aesthetic. There's just nothing not to like there. And the creature design and the use of no masks to heighten the sinister aspect of human antagonists just works perfectly. Plus, what we know about the plot sounds intriguing enough. You play as a man named Akito who is trying to unravel why most of Tokyo's human population suddenly disappeared only to be replaced by monsters, and generally attempting to halt the seemingly nefarious machinations of the masked bad boy Hanya, who seems to be orchestrating events for his own mysterious ends. And I mean, that all sounds good, right? But my main problem is that we still have very little idea of how combat and exploration are actually going to play. All this new trailer really gives us is a bunch of quick cuts of various moves and conflicts with enemies. So let's just say I'm cautiously excited for Ghostwire Tokyo, and I have faith in the studio. But I'd love to see a decent stretch of uninterrupted gameplay to get a real idea of what to expect when the game finally drops on the 25th later this month. Next up, we have Trek to Yomi. Now, if you're a long-time watcher of the channel, you'll know that I'm fascinated by Japanese history, thanks honestly in part due to the amazing games that have been set there. Well, Trek to Yomi is set to continue that fascination when it releases on PS5 and PS4 in spring 2022. The game is set primarily in Edo-era Japan, although it seems like the story spans vast swathes of Japanese history and mixes in elements of Shinto mythology, which involves the belief that minor gods exist everywhere. We don't know much when it comes to the story, beyond the fact that you take control of Hiroki, a swordsman sworn to protect his town and loved ones from danger. Faced with tragedy and bound by duty, the lone samurai must voyage beyond life and death to confront himself and decide his path forward. However, what we do know, and what I do love, is that both the gameplay and the art direction are heavily inspired by cinema. More specifically, the black and white stylistic look is drawn directly from the classic samurai movies directed by Akira Kurosawa. Now, Trek to Yomi isn't going to be the first game to utilize that style. Famously, Ghost of Tsushima, for example, had a fully fledged Kurosawa mode that turned it into a gorgeous filmic experience. However, it looks like Trek to Yomi has done something special here by melding this distinctive aesthetic style with a 2D gameplay experience, the animations of which, according to the developer, were designed to look as if they were unfolding on a stage rather than across a screen. In short, I'm excited and now you're excited, and the best part is we won't have to wait long, as Trek to Yomi is set to release in spring later this year. Finally, we have the reveal of Returnal Ascension, a significant update to the April 2021 roguelike action-adventure third-person shooter Returnal. When the free update releases later this month, Returnal owners will get access to a new co-op 2-player online multiplayer mode, wherein the second player takes control of another Celine from a different timeline. During multiplayer sessions, players will be bound together by an invisible tether, so you won't be able to explore too far from the host. However, players will be able to share progress for any logs or xenoglyphs picked up during the session, and of course you will be able to revive each other. The update will also bring with it the Tower of Sisyphus, which is essentially an endless mode wherein players must battle through increasingly punishing trials in order to climb higher up the tower and rack up the highest possible score that they can, which can then be compared against other players via the online leaderboard. And according to the devs, that gross Geiger-esque tower is also set to play host to some new narrative content that'll give insights into Celine's murky past. And that's it for today's episode. Let me know what you thought about the state of play in the comments section below. What did you like about it? What left you cold? And what were you hoping to see in the presentation that simply didn't materialize? As always, be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the show, and to keep it here for all the biggest news, reviews, and reactions from across the video gaming industry.